Can we get one more? What's up, Bean? Sometimes when I stand over him and he's looking up, he just meows at me. Hey. Nah. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the show, KO Bets. My name is Bill. Before I start the video, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, liking the video, interacting with it, go ahead, leave a comment. Tell me about your picks, whatever you want down there. This week we're going to review UFC Fight Night, Ladd versus Dumont. As you know, since I guess it's been since the beginning of June, we've been sharing our UFC picks between, started off on Twitch, now we're on YouTube. I like this a lot. Probably going to stick with YouTube permanently. So we've bet on a total of 139 fights. There were 5 no contests and draws. So out of an eligible 134 fights, we picked the money line right in 95 cases. So that's over a 70% win percentage on our bets, which is pretty remarkable. So we're looking to keep the hot streak going. We've had a couple of good weekends here in a row. On to UFC Fight Night, Ladd versus Dumont. In the first bout, we have, let's pull up the UFC page. You know the drill, Bill. Let's get it queued up and ready. So in the first fight, we've got the 7-1 Estela Nunez taking on Ariane Carnelossi. Estela, this is her first fight since 2018. Her only loss came via submission. She's a good Muay Thai fighter, but like we talked about, she hasn't fought since 2018. So she might come into the ring. There might be, ring rust might be a factor. It might not be. Ariane, she's 1-1 in the UFC. She's a decent striker, although she does have a loss to Angela Hill. On the money line, we're going to go with Ariane. She carries minus 155 odds as the favorite. Estela carries plus 135 odds. I'm not super confident in this fight. I think Estela could, potentially come out and impress in her for all intents and purposes, her debut. She's been off for 3 years. But I'm gonna go with Carnelossi to win this one. If I had to choose a result, you see the KO percentage and the decision percentage. I would guess she would get a decision victory. I would think Estela Nunez survives, but maybe KO or decision. You could hedge it that way. But Carnelossi, she carries favorite odds, minus 155. It's not bad odds, but I'm not super confident in that one. In the next fight, we've got Dana Batragel against Brandon Davis. Dana's 9-2, Brandon's 14-8. Let me say this right. Batcherel is 2-1 in the UFC, carrying favorite odds at minus 155. Brandon Davis, this is his second stint in the UFC. He's put together some wins out of the UFC, so now he's back. Plus 135 underdog odds. Going back to Dana, his 2 career losses have come via the decision. I like pulling up this win by, breakdown. You just get a sense of tendencies in fights. He's a good, powerful striker. I think he's, had a couple of left-hand KO KOs on a lead hook. So 5 out of 9 of his wins have come via KO. Brandon Davis, he was 2-5 in his previous stint in the UFC. He's a good jiu-jitsu guy. He's just, I don't know if he's too proficient at securing the takedown. If you see his takedown accuracy, it's 45%. So over half his takedown attempts, he's really coming up short there. He does have 0 losses via KO, so that's interesting because I definitely am into, I'm banking on Dana, basically his power and striking showing through, and if that's the case, the KO would be in play in my mind. So I like the Dana decision for plus 165 odds. I like, if you want to hedge the bet, KO or decision, you could get minus 150 odds. But at that point, he's only minus 155. You probably just go with the money line. So we'll go with Dana as our money line pick. In the next fight, we got the fucking warrior, Lupita Godinez. I'm turning into a big Lupita Godinez fan. So basically, we saw her fight on what the fuck? We watched her fight last Saturday, so 7 days later, she's coming in and she's gonna fight again against Luana Carolina, and Lupita's stepping in for Sijara Eubanks. Not sure why, but Sijara had to drop out of this one. So she last fought last Saturday, and she scored a round 1 submission, looked super impressive, both in the stand-up and on the ground. Luana Carolina, she's 2-1 in the UFC. I kind of think she needs to win via output in this matchup, like crazy pace. But I'm not gonna overthink it too much. I'm going full. I'm a Lupita fan. I'm confident in this pick, very confident. I like Lupi Godinez. As far as the result, I'm not gonna lie, the submission. I wasn't expecting that last week. I'm not gonna say how it's gonna happen. I like Lupita in this. She carries favorite odds at minus 225. If you like Luana Carolina, you can get her for plus 185 odds. In the next bout, we've got Danny Roberts against Ramazes Emeev. Danny Roberts, 17-5. Emeev is 20-4, coming out of Russia. And we know how those Russians like to do it. They like to grapple. And Emeev is no exception. He is a tremendous grappler. 35% submission rate. Can he set up the takedown against Danny Roberts is the question. Danny Roberts is 1-2 in his last 3. He has 0 losses via decision, which I always find fascinating, right? 5 losses, so they come via submission or KO. So, just scrolling down, it doesn't appear like Danny Roberts' takedown defense is the best. So it'll be an interesting match. I do think Emeev needs to get this to the mat, and he carries huge favorite odds at minus 365, which I don't know if I agree with. Danny Roberts carries plus 280. So I think the bookies are basically just baiting you into taking Danny Roberts. I mean, I don't want to put minus 365 on an Emeev moneyline decision, but I am confident like he is going to be able to score his takedowns, at least get a couple, and control the match. I don't think Danny Roberts' wrestling is horrible, but I think he needs to keep this one standing. I don't think he needs to be grappling with Emeev if he's going to get the win, and then I think it's more probable he would get the win via KO or decision. Amiv, I'm leaning more towards submission, decision. So you could get, I really like decision, but I would hedge an Amiv pick probably with a submission for minus 250. So we'll go with Amiv on this. You know, big favorite. Don't know if I love the odds, but I like the fighter. In the next fight, we've got Bruno Silva taking on Andrew Sanchez. Andrew Sanchez 13-6. Bruno Silva 20-6. Silva, we'll start with him. KO artist, huge finishing rate to his fights, 85%. I think it's only like, maybe like 4 or 5 of his total fights have even reached a decision. On the other hand, we have Andrew Sanchez, up and down UFC career. He's been around for a while. He's also got a pretty high finishing rate in his UFC career, so I tend to like the knockout probability in this fight. I think in order to win, Andrew Sanchez needs to push the pace. I think Bruno Silva, he hits hard. I think maybe, if he can get a takedown or two and stay on top, that would be an advantageous position for Andrew Sanchez. I'm just leaning more towards Bruno Silva in this fight. And basically, his ability to ground and pound from top mounts, and to, hopefully keep the fight standing up. So I like Silva via KO or decision for minus 150 at that point. Probably just going to take Silva minus 155 on the money line. Andrew Sanchez, he's the underdog at plus 135. A prop bet that I like. I don't like the fight to go the distance. That's minus 200. I think if Andrew Sanchez can push the pace, get Bruno Silva into deep waters, that's his best chance at winning, right? And then stealing potentially the second and third round. But he's gonna have to. I think he's gonna, have to survive some pretty big shots in this. In the next bout, we've got. Oh, and now we're moving on to the main card. That ends our prelims. In the next bout, we've got Nate Landwehr against Ludovic Klein. Interesting fight. So style-wise, I would say Landwehr, more of a brawler, gonna push forward, needs to have that output and stand in front of, needs to be pushing forward. Klein, probably the more technical striker in this bout and technical fighter. Only 2 out of 20 of his fights have even reached a decision. Nate Landwehr, he's 1-2 in the UFC. His 2 losses both came via KO knees. 0 submission wins. I think there's a high probability you do see a finish in this. Like Nate Landwehr, he wins this fight pushing forward. And Klein, he wins this fight by hitting Nate when he moves in and basically re-grabbing control of, octagon control, and he's the one pushing forward and Nate's the one fighting off his back foot. So it's an interesting fight stylistically. I think there's a high probability that the fight does not reach a decision. Klein carries heavy favorite odds at minus 410. I don't know why he's minus 410. I like Klein to win this fight, but it's almost like I like him. I like this fight. I don't like minus 410 odds. But I'm not confident enough Nate Landwehr's gonna be able to withstand some of Klein's offense and going to be the one who's pushing forward the entire match. So, I'm going to go with Klein on this. I think, the method of victory, I kind of like a KO, like I said, so you could get, you could bet on a KO victory for either fighter at minus 175 odds, which I think that's intriguing. In the next fight, we've got Mannion Fiora against Mayra Buena Silva. Mannion 7-1, violent. Mayra 7-1-1, terrific grappler. Mannion's the favorite at minus 255. Mayra plus 205. Mannion's got 5 KO wins in a row. She's on a 7-fight win streak. So her professional debut, she lost, and then she hasn't looked back. Just really terrific boxer. Mayra probably carries a technical advantage on the ground, but I don't know if I really like her ability to get this fight to the ground and maintain top position in the fight. So, fuck, this cat just scratched my belly button. I really like Mannion in this fight. I like her to win potentially via the knockout, so you could get that for plus 165. You could get a KO or decision bet on Mannion for minus 225 odds. I really, her and Lupita are probably for some reason my 2 most confident picks this week. I really like both of those fighters this week. And then we get into the main card. And I think all of these fights in the last 3 events of the main card are super interesting. Even Nate Landwehr against Klein, I think this is a pretty interesting fight. But then we've got Jim Miller against Eric Gonzalez. Jim Miller, he's been around for forever. He's gonna need to get this matched, I think, to the mat, which he should be able to do. Tons of experience over a guy like Eric Gonzalez. Eric Gonzalez is making his UFC debut. I thought it was interesting. I saw he had a rare round 1 decision win on his record. And another interesting statistic was 2 out of 5 of his 2 out of his 5 losses came via submission. So he's submittable. That's obviously what Jim Miller's aiming to do in this matchup. If he's not, terrible game plan. He needs to be trying to get this match to the mat, hopefully early, just close the distance, grapple. I like Jim Miller in this on the money line for minus 255. I like the Jim Miller submission potentially for plus 240. I worry if it goes to a decision only if Jim Miller isn't securing takedowns. If he's getting takedowns and he's just not able to submit Eric Gonzalez, that's another thing. But I don't even think, I might put a little bit of money on a Jim Miller submission for plus 240 just because that's a result that I like and I'm kind of confident in. Same with the Fiora KO for plus 165. Those are good odds and I think probable results if both fighters are going to win. So that's something interesting. In the next fight, we've got Andre Arlovsky against Carlos Felipe. Andre, vet, huge record, 53 total fights. Felipe, more of a newcomer, 11-1 professionally. Felipe, minus 105 odds. Arlovsky, minus 115. Interesting fight. So Carlos, more of a, karate punching approach, karate stance, wide stance, moves around, a little bit unorthodox. The question is is he gonna land that KO shot to Andre? Andre has been knocked out before, and he's been knocked out, in not good fashion. That being said, he's coming off a good win versus Sherman. You wonder if the chin can hold up. Again, he's 11-7 in decisions. Philippe is 5-1 in decisions, although, his last 2 decisions have been close ones. I'm not super confident on this one. Another interesting stat about Philippe is 6 out of 11 of his wins have come via round 1 KOs. So he's got power, and if he can hit Andre, yeah, he could potentially, KO him and win this, but, if it goes to a decision, and he's been in a couple close decisions recently, is he gonna be able to outpoint, a veteran like Andre? It's just a tough fight. I think it will be fought standing up. I don't think there's, Felipe's the bigger fighter, and that doesn't necessarily mean, he's a better grappler, because I don't think he is in this case. I'm torn. I'm going back and forth. I'm gonna roll with Andre. Unconfident pick of Andre. Maybe I would wait in this case to see if Andre survives round 1 with those, quick finishes on Philippe's resume. It would suck to bet on Andre and for him to get KO'd in round 1. So maybe it's a live bet opportunity on Andre. Maybe if you like Felipe, you could, do a KO. I'm not going to nominate any sort of prop bets for that one. Just sharing my thoughts. I think Andre could win this one, and then I'm banking on a decision, I guess, a decision win. So maybe a good live betting opportunity given Felipe's recent decisions. Okay, we're on the main event now. We've got Aspen Ladd against Norma Dumont. Aspen Ladd stepping in for Holly Holm. So totally different style of fighter. She's obviously going up in weight for this to 145. Didn't make weight in a scary weight cut a couple weeks ago, which has me a little bit worried about her physical, how she's going to feel physically, but she looked okay in the official weigh-in video I watched today, just to see if she was looking bad or anything, or looking sluggish, and I don't know, she seemed okay. So Aspen Ladd's 4-1 in the UFC. Her only loss was a KO to Germaine. Otherwise, she's got 6 KO victories, terrific wrestler, so she gets a lot of those, ground and pound. She is moving up in weight, so can she wrestle Norma? Norma is 2-1 in the UFC, doesn't have any KO victories. The question is can she hold off Ladd's wrestling with her striking? I'm going to go with Aspen Ladd on the money line. I think she is going to be able to wrestle a little bit and, you know, push the fight against the cage, maybe secure a double leg at some point, get her down to the mat, you know, hopefully a couple times in this fight. Don't necessarily know a method of victory for this fight. It's just kind of like, is Aspen Ladd going to be able to wrestle? And if the answer is yeah, then I think she's going to win. If Norma can fend off the wrestling, then yeah, there's a decent probability she could win the fight. But you know, she's not the same level of striker as Germaine, who KO'd Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd hasn't really been hurt like that before, at least in the UFC. We're going to roll with Aspen Ladd. I tend to think this fight's going to a decision, but I don't know. I'm not going to nominate any sort of prop bets. Just don't feel, you know, the most confident in nominating a method of victory for that fight. So, in addition to our moneyline picks and some prop bets that I threw out there, I just wanted to share a couple of parlay or round robin opportunities, whatever your preference is. I've been like, I mean, seriously, it's been like the last 3 weeks. Actually, I got the same notebook. I could just check, you know. So I'm pretty sure like last weekend, all 10 fights got them right. Or sorry, all 9 fights got them right. The weekend before, I mean, that was Thiago against Johnny Walker. We got 12 fights right, and the 13th fight was a no contest. That was Holland against Dawkins, which I took Holland in. So probably lucked out there. So yeah, like 1 loss in the last few fights. I'm probably going to take all of my money line picks and put together like some round robins and parlays this weekend. Last weekend, I did get a little burned on picking a couple of results wrong. So I want to avoid that, but I'm going to throw out 2 parlay or round robin opportunities for you. Godinez. So I'm going to just say this is all money line here. Godinez, Fiora, Silva, Amiv, Klein, Dana, plus 759. Those are Godinez and Ferro being my 2 biggest favorites. If you took them on the money line, you'd get minus 109 odds. That's shit. If you take all of these fighters, these 6 fighters that I said, plus 759 odds, I'm probably going to do something like that. I might do something like a round robin where I don't do all 6 fighters. Like maybe I do only 3, 4, and 5 fight parlays in the round robin. I don't know. Something like that. And then another parlay opportunity, same fighters, you know, we're just picking results. All with the exception of Godinez. Not really sure what to expect out of her. I just expect her to win. So Godinez, Fiora, KO or decision. Silva, KO or decision. Amiv, submission or decision. Klein against Landwehr. We're picking method of victory here, KO, so either fighter can win. And then Dana, KO, decision, your odds improve to plus 1,158. So, just a couple of interesting, like, you know, potential parlay, round robin opportunities for you. No idea if they're going to hit. Obviously, in a parlay, you miss one fight, miss one pick, it's all gone. So it's high risk, high reward typically. So don't put a lot of money on it, ever, ever. Round robins, you're just like, you're just like hedging your bet a little bit in case you lose the payouts, so lowering the risk a little bit, lowering the reward a little bit. And then, just choosing a fighter, I kind of view that as like a weighted coin flip. There's, for each fight, there's something you think should happen. So your tendencies are to pick along, what you think's going to happen, and sometimes you get unlucky. So we've been pretty lucky since starting the channel. Like I said, over a 70%. I mean, let's just round it up. 71% win percentage on our money line picks. So I'm gonna roll probably a couple parlays and round robins based off of the stuff I talked about today. Yeah, probably place both of those parlays that I stated. Not huge bets, like I'm talking like $5, something like that. Don't overextend yourself ever. You don't need to be betting a shit ton of money. I've had some, but obviously the more accurate you are with your bets, you can win a fuck ton. I've had some of my best bets have been parlay hits, obviously. So this weekend, I don't really have too much planned. Our pumpkins are already rotten, so probably got to throw those out, maybe get some more. We've just had a lot of rain here in the Chicagoland area. Tomorrow, might try and go apple picking out at a, this apple orchard in the burbs. And then Sunday, we got Bears versus Packers, baby. Oh, show and tell time. So I like to partake in fantasy sports. So I've got I do fantasy basketball, baseball, and football. And to be perfectly honest, it's just too much. It's too much. But this year I won fantasy baseball. And as a prize, I got a very cool gift from the league commissioner. And it's his old number, but it's still pretty dope. Eddie Jackson, bear down. So I was about to say I might wear this Sunday. I can't wear it, it's signed. So I gotta get like I gotta get some sort of like case for it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll put it in something like safe that'll store it for a while. I don't know if I'll hang that thing up or if it's even case worthy, I've got a couple other cool sports memorabilia items, one of which I'd love to find a buyer for. Anyone who's from Buffalo, New York, you're watching this show, you're a fan of the Bills, yeah? And my name is Bill. So if you want a signed Mitchell Trubisky football in case, hit me up. I'll give you a price. It comes with the case too. So, you gotta think, it's an official NFL ball. I'm giving you a case. Like, even if it is defaced with a signature, like, who cares? I've never used it before. I got all the certification and stuff. Just message me. You can see my contact info up there on the screen. Before I sign off, If you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, get notified whenever I go live. I've got a show coming up this Sunday where I'll give my NFL picks. Monday we'll review the UFC fights, and you know what? Let's venture real quick back onto the UFC page. I'm always the worst at wrapping, being concise, wrapping things up quickly. There's gotta be, not that this is a bad card, but there's gotta be something big coming up. I thought October was just, it was fights every weekend, and okay. Yeah, I know this is next. I want to know what's next. Let's see. Oh, nice. So another free fight, Costa versus Vittori. That should be a fun card. Jamie Pickett's fighting again? Wow. Yeah, so that should be a fun card, and then, I swear, there's even, we got better stuff coming up. We got Blachowicz against Teixeira. Is that the following weekend? That'd be insane. Oh shit. Wow. How insane. And are you kidding me? This is why I fucking love this sport. Seriously. Like, I get so, like, even for these, for this card, I'm like looking at it, and yeah, I go on UFC.com and I'm doing research. If someone's making an earlier fight, I try and watch film because I haven't been exposed to them too much. And then, I get myself excited for the fight card doing this homework. So it's like, it is a lot of work, but I enjoy doing it a lot. But yeah, that last card in October, and then the card following it, Covington, Usman, Namajunas, Wei Li, like, come on. That is sick. I'm looking forward to those fights. I am a fan of Costa Vittori. Like, that's a cute little card there, so I'm looking forward to that next weekend. But then we get into the real shit, and I'm looking forward to it. Everyone, have a terrific weekend. If it's shitty weather by you, go see a movie. James Bond is out, Venom's out, Shang-Chi, that came out a while ago. Go see a movie, preferably at AMC theaters. I am a shareholder. And, I think things are looking up for us again. I don't talk about it too often on this channel because it's not for you. If you're not an AMC ape, if you're not a Redditor, if you're not interested, that's cool. But I think the winds have changed, and our sails are pointing in the right direction. We're heading towards the moon. And I think things are looking, getting interesting again. So just an idea, just a suggestion of what you could do. I heard both movies were very good. I'm more of a James Bond fan than a Venom fan, which is weird because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. But, you know, Venom, it's entertaining. It's just not, like, I don't know. It's just not my type of, like, superhero, anti-hero movie. It's just not my thing. So I'll talk to you all on Sunday when I do my NFL show. We'll try and do that around 10 a.m. Central Time. Did take the Bucks last night. We took the under, which I think hit like under 53.5 points, but I did take the Bucks on the spread, which was -7 at kickoff, so obviously didn't cover there. Missed that by a couple points. So I'll see you all on Sunday. Have a great weekend. Peace. Oh. Peace. Do you want me to pause yours? Thank you. Okay. Done and I'm settling down, the cuffed up, fucked up, you don't wanna be. Put it in drive, gave a piece of my mind, but this ain't the kind of man that I wanna be. But that's alright, everything will be fine, gonna get wherever I gotta be. I'm pissed off, I'm pissed drunk, I walk the line, I'm doing good all night. Truck, old tree, Captain Jackie got the best of me. I blame you, I still